microphone over to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice to see everybody. It's nice to see a lot of my friends are here. Nice to see you. It's a pleasure to be with you. Uh, During today's training, I'm going to share with you three key things. Number one, we're going to look at why sometimes when we try to see the future, it's difficult or it doesn't turn out the way that we saw it initially. I'm going to share with you a way to see the future that a friend of mine channeled for me that I think you might find a fun tool to play with. And she gave me permission to teach it to you, and I'll give you her name. And then finally, we're going to look at why sometimes our future doesn't turn out to be what we want it to be. And it seems to be something outside of our conscious will or control. And we're going to identify what's causing that so you can learn how to start to work on it. So let's start with a deep breath. And let's begin with a little bit of playtime. So I'm going to share with you the method of seeing the future that my friend Sheridan Whitney brought in for me. And I think all of you would really enjoy her. She is an amazing shaman. She does soul retrievals, but she also does angel channeling, which means she trance channels and lets them speak through her. And her voice literally changes when she does it. And they shared this way of seeing the future with me. So I'm going to share it with you. And if you want Sheridan's info, put it in the chat and I'll look it up on my phone and give it to you before we're done. So here's the thing. You're going to close your eyes, take a deep breath. I want you to imagine that there's a gateway portal in front of you. It might look like a big oval, but it's very tall. It's tall enough for you to easily walk right into it. And inside the portal, there's perhaps clouds and swirls, and maybe it has a gold rim around the edge. This portal will show you the future. All you need to do is decide what day or what year and day you want to see. And you can use it in different ways. For example, you could say, I want to see my future if I make this decision. And then now let me see the future if I make this decision. And it might help you to make decisions by seeing what path you'll put yourself on. How fun. If you take it as a fun game to play, you'll be more likely to actually see the path you're on rather than see something that you want to see, for example. So take a deep breath. What is the question that you have in your life about what to do? What's a decision you need to make? Think of something that you'd like to make a decision about. It could be a small thing, it could be a big thing. Now, let's say that there's two possible decisions. Maybe there's more than two, but just pick two. What we're going to do is you're going to say, if I make this decision, show me my future in 1 year. And then you're going to walk into the portal and you're going to see what your future looks like a year from now. Are you ready? Think about the two decisions, excuse me, the decision and the two possible choices. Pick one of them and then say to yourself, if I make this decision, I would like to see my future 1 year from now. And then walk right into the portal and see whatever you see. Okay, come on back. And now look again at the portal as if it's in front of you. You can see it there like a big, beautiful gateway. And then say, now I'm going to make the other choice. Show me my future 1 year from now if I make the other choice. And walk into the portal and see what you see. Okay, come on back. Take a deep breath. It's difficult sometimes to see the future. You might have seen exactly your future if you make those choices. The problem is that if you make a different choice, you'll have a different future. Every choice creates a different future. And part of the challenge of seeing your own future or seeing someone else's is that we get attached to the outcome. Do you know what I mean by that? Getting attached to the outcome means being afraid it's not going to turn out the way you want. And that fear will distort your ability to receive the truth. You have to be completely neutral in order to actually see the future. And then the other problem is, even if you are completely neutral and you do see the future, it could change. It can change. Every decision changes it. And if you were to, let's say, go inside and find something causing a negative pattern in your life, like constantly dating someone who is unkind to you, or constantly, no matter what you do, end up running out of money and then having to rebuild again. These negative patterns that people have. Imagine if you were to erase the cause of a pattern like that. Well, that pattern wouldn't be in your future anymore, which means your future would change, which means the reading you gave yourself on your future would change. Well, it might. It might change depending on how you look at the future. But in my experience, every time you permanently erase something that's creating a negative pattern in your life today, you have changed your future. And so you have to look again. And there's a game I play in our intermediate course, Life Transformation, where we look at the future and we can see a general brightness of the future. How bright does the future look? And then we erase something permanently, like an ancestral trauma. And then we look at the future again, and it looks a little bit brighter, which means it's different and it's changed. So reading the future can be challenging. Now, there are some things that are fated, but what does that mean? It means that before you were born, you programmed it into this lifetime. Okay, so in this life, I want to meet my soulmate when I'm 47. Well, that's destiny then. And you can maybe read that and see that. But sometimes when you put those things into your destiny, you also stipulate that you're not allowed to know about it. And that's why you won't know because you actually made that plan. And that does happen. Most people don't do that though. They don't have a destined soulmate, but they might look for them forever. When in reality, it's about creating. And I like how Andro, I hope I'm saying his name right, focused and refocused on getting your energy in alignment with your goal, because that really is the key to manifesting anything you want, is to vibrate in alignment with it. So let's do a little exercise on why sometimes our future doesn't turn out the way that we intend, and actually see something that's manifesting itself in our future now that we could then possibly change if we become aware of it. So I'd like you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Think about a problem that you have in your life, a challenge, something that's not a good feeling when you think about it, something that frustrates you, something that scares you, that gives you anxiety. It could be from the area of health, relationships, money. It could have something to do with your home environment, anything you want, any challenge, any problem. Think of that problem. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, when you think about this problem, how it feels inside your body. I know you're able to do this. Go down from your head if you haven't been practicing, and go into your body and ask yourself, how does it feel when I think about this problem in my body? If you want to put in the chat the word that would describe the emotion, or words that would describe the emotion, that would be awesome. How does it feel? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel sad? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel lonely? Do you feel embarrassed? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel angry, pissed off? You feel like the world's falling down on you? Do you feel like it's never gonna stop? How do you feel? Crushed and sad. Very good. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? How does it feel when you think about this challenge or problem? Take a deep breath. Frustrated, overwhelmed. Thank you. Now stay present to this emotion and ask yourself, when did I first feel this way? Yes, I'm done waiting. Sick. Very good. Thank you for sharing. When did I first feel this way? And you can share that in the chat if you want to. You may not remember, and that's okay. But if you did remember, if you could remember, when did you first feel this way? Okay. Some of you might have a more recent time. Does anyone remember that you remember you first felt this way when you were a child or even before? Okay. Thank you, Selena and Deborah. When I was 4, when I moved home after college. Great sharing in the chat. Thank you for participating. Take a deep breath. The reason I asked when you first felt this way is because that's when this pattern started, and it's been continuing from then until now. I'm going to go into a lot more detail on this in my upcoming webinar on November 2nd, which is called Why Your Life is the Way It Is, Ending Repeating Life Patterns. It's free if you want to attend. It's about an hour and 45 minutes because it's a lot of training. So the emotion you feel now actually came from a long time ago, and yet it's still manifested into today, into this present, and it's going to manifest itself into the future. And unfortunately, unless you face it and erase it, unless you address it and remove it, it's going to manifest itself in spite of your strongest conscious effort, in spite of your visualizations, in spite of your prayers. Because if part of you is saying no and part of you is saying yes, you're in conflict. And that negative emotion you're feeling is the part of you that's saying no. It's the resistance to you having the problem solved. It's actually the cause of the problem. It's the reason you have the problem. We mistakenly think sometimes we forget and we think that the problem is causing our feelings. But look, that feeling's been there for a long time. And it's actually a magnet inside of you attracting to you the problem. Maybe you've already heard this before. Maybe not. And do you practice it every day? And then do you identify the things in you that are magnetizing to you things you don't like, therefore creating a future that you don't want to live into, at least not that part of it, right? I'm sure there's a lot about the future that you'll be very excited for that will be amazing. But then there's this piece, and we don't want this in our future. So what do we do? Well, let's do an exercise now to remove it temporarily, and we'll do a prayer to see if it can be erased for us permanently. I call it the beach ball method, and you'll learn this again in my webinar coming up on the 2nd. Imagine there's a big golden beach ball in front of you, and I want you to take that negative emotion that you feel, whatever it is, and put it inside the beach ball. And while you're doing that, take any other negative emotion you feel and put that in the beach ball too. Take all the negative energy out. Anything you feel that isn't a happy feeling and put it in the beach ball. Now, this golden ball can be a representation of the love of the universe for you, and it's going to help you. So go ahead and just take everything out. You can use your breath, you can use hand gestures, and just send it all out of your body. Very good, very good. Now take that beach ball, and we're going to ask the divine to work on it. So you're going to send it up, up, up into an imaginary heaven. Imagine it's flying up into clouds and disappearing into a place that is nothing but light, and it disappears. Send it away and let it go. Now let's pray that whatever the higher power is, you can call it anything you want to call it. The great divine, God, the universe, the great spirit, anything you want to call it, the force if you're a Jedi. And let's just ask that divine energy of love of the universe to erase it for you, however long it takes, and to erase it in such a way that it's gentle on your body. There's 2 ways that I know to permanently erase these kinds of blockages. One is to have a divine intervention, which is what we just asked for. And I see amazing healers doing it that way. They work on you with energy. They have their ancestors erase your stuff for you. And it does work. And you'll find that some of the things are gone. If you ask for it to be erased very, very quickly, it could put your body into pain. Why? Because it takes time for them to work on you and for your body to adapt to a new reality, a new nervous system, as Andro called it, but a new reality. And moving into a new reality means changing timelines. You were on this path, and now we've erased this giant sadness. So now you're on this path where that sadness doesn't exist. And that takes a bit of adjusting. And if you try to adjust too fast, it can hurt. So one time I asked to have this huge sadness erased, and they told me it would take 9 months. I said, that's too long. Well, we could do it in 6 weeks, but it would hurt. How about in a week? We don't recommend it. Do it in a week. The next morning when I woke up, I could barely move. My body hurt so much. I felt like my nerves were being ripped out of my body. And I was like that for 9 days. I couldn't do anything for 9 days. But after the 9 days, the giant sadness was gone. Now, that's one way to do it. But sometimes the universe won't erase things for you. And when I asked about why that is, the answer I get is because you are the divine creator and you have a right to know what it feels like to actually be the divine creator, to erase the issues yourself and watch reality change before your eyes and demonstrate and experience your power. There is another reason. When you go inside and you erase these issues yourself, you find out a lot of things, where they came from, how they've been affecting your life in ways you didn't know. You get insights, wisdom, and understanding that you don't want to lose. That's important for you to have. So the other way that I know to permanently erase these types of issues is a 7-step method I created called the Goran Technique. And I created that method because I desperately wanted to change the negative repeating patterns in my life and stop experiencing my childhood because I knew that that was the reason why I was struggling in so many different areas. You know, some people have it made in some areas and then they struggle in others. Maybe you can relate to that. One of my friends, he's a brilliant artist. He became a graphic designer. And when it comes to money and work, he has no issues, no blockages. He literally can turn on or off the energy with a single thought. I think I'd like some money. Bing, bing, bing. He starts receiving text messages, emails, and phone calls from clients asking him to do work for them. And at any time, if he needs a break, he'll say, I think I need a break. And then all of a sudden, it's quiet. Nobody's asking him to work. It's just quiet for as long as he wants. And as soon as he says, I would like to work, boom, he starts getting invitations to work. It's that simple. He has no blockages in that area of his life. His frequency is totally within his control because there's nothing in the unconscious mind, which means in your body. There's nothing in his body in conflict with what's in his conscious mind. So his intention just becomes made manifest, just like that every time. However, it's not like that in all areas of his life. In his love life, he would continue to repeat the same patterns. He would view a person, a girl, who seems like they have issues, and he would find them attractive. And I would see their issues and say, that doesn't look like an attractive person. They look like they're going to be mean to you. And then that's what would happen. Other people could see it too. But without erasing the cause of the pattern, anytime he would consciously try to manifest a romantic relationship that's made his heart sing, he would instead attract the unconscious pain and repeat that pattern again and again and again. Now, I knew someone like that, one of my students. He continued to attract women who were mean to him. Different person, similar pattern. And so he erased and he erased and he erased everything that was causing that pattern, all the magnets inside, the pain, the hurt, the sadness, the frustration. Why do they keep yelling at me for no reason? What did I do? Why do they keep falsely accusing me of things I didn't do? Why are they so mean? And he erased and erased and erased layer after layer, brick after brick of pain until it was all gone. And then he stopped seeing girls that looked mean to me and other people as being pretty. And he started to be attracted to different kinds of girls. You see, all the pain that we have, it creates like filters that we see life through. If I had my sunglasses handy, I'd put them on and you could see that you're viewing life through your pain from the past, but you don't realize it because it's been there since childhood or even before. Like when you were born with it. It came from your ancestors or the womb. And so you look at life and see one thing, other people don't see the same thing because of what's in your unconscious mind. And then you get attracted to things that aren't actually that attractive to you, or you don't see the opportunities that are right there in front of you because you're blocked. And when you remove the blocks, it changes. And so that guy, he got married to a fantastic girl and he's happy by doing the work and shifting his unconscious programming so that it became in alignment with his conscious mind and he could attract what he really wanted. Now, you can be like these people in every area of your life. You can be like my friend who could manifest money like this by simply removing everything that's in the way of being that way. And you could do that in your health. You could do that in your romantic relationships. You could do that in your family. And you could literally get along with everybody in your family, even if right now some of them seem like the biggest jerks ever. By erasing and erasing and erasing all the patterns inside of you, you have the power. It's all within you. You're literally manifesting your own experience of reality. Everything is your mirror. Everything is your mirror. If you're pissed off at the person driving on the freeway, that's another mirror to you. If you hate the leader of your country, that's another mirror to you. If you're mad at, put anything there, it's another mirror to you. And the madness, the anger, that's inside of you. It's a magnet attracting it to you. If you remove it, reality will shift. So hopefully today, as we did the beach ball method and asked the universe to erase things for you, they're going to be erased and you're going to witness patterns disappearing and therefore your future changing. But there might be other things that you need to do yourself. I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm here and you're here at the same time. If you want to learn how to do it yourself, you can come to the free webinar, and at the end, I will tell you about the 3-day weekend, which is coming up soon, where I will teach you how to do it on your own. You might need a coach to help you, but once you master it, you can do it yourself. And then your life can be very different because instead of being a victim to those old patterns, you can be powerful and erase them and erase them and erase them one brick at a time, one area of life at a time. Imagine being lonely your whole life, being unloved, being abused, being hurt. And every time that you're not in a relationship, you feel depressed. 2 weeks after your romantic relationship ends, you feel depressed for months and months. You pray and pray every day. You create a new sweetheart. Your depression goes away. You feel better. But when the relationship ends, the depression comes back. Imagine that's your life. And then one day you say, I'm not going to have this pattern anymore. And you erase and erase and erase all the depression, all the sadness, and it never happens again. And after that, if you're by yourself, you feel fine. If you want a girl or a guy, they just show up. If you want to be in a long relationship, no problem. You can be that way. That's what I went through. That's one of my patterns that I erased. It was a really tough one. But after I erased it, it never changed. Forever after, I was able to attract and experience love when I didn't grow up that way. And it's painful. It's painful not to have that when you need it or want it. Take a deep breath. So I still have 4 minutes. I'd like to give readings out. I've been a professional medical intuitive and reader for over 20 years. I would love to give readings to those who raised their hand. Tia, I saw your hand was up first. Was that from a long time ago, or you just wanted to get in the front of the line? You can unmute. You need to unmute. I'm gonna skip you and come back to you. Okay, there you go.
No, I'm so sorry because I just got the reading from the person before you, so my hand was already up, but it was
Ah,
about
okay.
the yeah, and I want to give somebody else a chance.
Okay,
I
great.
yeah,
It's good to see you, Tia.
it's good to see you
Selena.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Selena, you can unmute. Sure. What would you like a reading on?
I was wondering if I could have some guidance on money blocks.
Money blocks for Selena. What is your number one money goal right now?
To be able to create wealth.
Mm. And what is your definition of wealth?
Oh gosh, I feel so miserable saying this, but just having enough to get by, that's enough.
Okay, that's a great money goal. Having enough to get by. From my own experience, that was a difficult goal for me because I grew up not having enough to get by. I grew up starved on purpose. And then that followed me into my adulthood. So erasing that pattern was a really big deal. So I totally understand. It's very important to be able to feel like your needs are being met. So let's see what's causing Selena to have a pattern of being able to not being able to get her needs met or have enough to get by. There's a lot of fear in your solar plexus and in your heart chakra that say things like, I don't have enough money, I won't make it, I won't survive. If you look inside, you'll see these rocks and they look white to me. A lot of times fear looks white. And rocks are erased with the Goran technique. There's 4 different tools I teach for erasing different blockages, and you can tell which tool to use by looking and seeing what they look like energetically inside of you. So these ones look like rocks. And if you were to go inside of them, you'd find out that they're full of words. And these words are actually beliefs that are manifesting reality. So in order to change what you're manifesting, you got to remove all these unconscious words, all these beliefs, all these rocks, all this fear. So let's take it out temporarily. There's 3 in your solar plexus. Than or the spirit level rather than mental level, and it requires a different tool. It's a huge picture, which means it has a lot of energy. So let's take that one out. Let's just see, does we need to know about this picture? It's a picture from your childhood, from when you were 3 years old and you were hit in the face for asking for more food when you were hungry. So let's take that out. Okay, so your energy seemed to relax and calm down. Let's see, is there anything else Selena needs to know about clearing those blocks? There's more, but that's where you need to start. I was giving you the blockages in the order of which to work on them, and you will need to learn how to remove them. Let's see, can Selena erase those just by asking to have them erased? You're going to need to erase them yourself. Okay, there's a lot to learn from it. So that's what's blocking you and causing that pattern. I'm out of time. Michelle, my gosh, I don't want to go over. It's naughty. Um, sorry, Michelle. Maybe next time. Come to my webinar and maybe I can give you a reading at the end of the webinar.
I know this has been fabulous. Gems of wisdom. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, keeping to time. That's good. It's excellent. And look, great to do readings and help people. So I've put in the chat your links for the free webinar. So if you love what you've just experienced with Arnoux, take action and book in your seat on the free breakthrough webinar. So workshop, it's been fantastic. So now I'm going to be moving on. Thank you so much.